Let's go ahead and get it started. This is day 10, guys, day 10 of our 30K in 90 days challenge, where in today's session, we're going to be talking about action versus results driven. Which one are you? Okay. And we're going to talk about why it matters. My name is Tracy Walker, and I am a baseball mom. I am a documented seven-figure earner inside of the affiliate marketing, network marketing spaces. I've created my own products. I've sold my own trainings, my own digital courses, and I've been full time at this digital marketing game since 2008. Okay. Made millions of dollars full time. And let me tell you something, I've learned a thing or two. And I want to share some of this stuff with you along this 90-day challenge. All right. I am also a master recruiter, which means I've learned some skill sets and some things that have allowed me to enroll people into programs, to sign people up, to have people to buy, to have people say yes over and over and over again, in a way that supports what they're looking to do, as well as supporting what I'm looking to do, right? Win-win situation. And last but not least, I am an automations expert. Now, what that means is I absolutely am an advocate, and I have been preaching since 2008, and I will continue to um, preach about the importance and the power of the right types of tools, resources, systems, things that you need to help you run a real digital marketing business. I don't have a problem with doing work. I just don't like hard work. I like smart work. All right. I don't mind putting in the effort, but then I would like a system, a video, something that is doing the work for me while I'm doing this thing called living my life. Right. While I am out with my son baseball, while we are traveling, while we are at the pool, while I'm at wherever. I ran to the store earlier, right? Whatever it is that I'm doing, I want to be able to put in my work and get results from that work over and over and over. And the only way that's going to happen is if you have automation, systems, tools, things like that, business processes working in your favor. And I employ them quite heavily. All right. Which is why we're here, because we're talking about how you can put yourself on a path to earn 30K over the next 90 days using a very, very specific blueprint that we've put together with the Legacy program. All right. Now, if you need to get your hands on that blueprint, or you want to get your hands on that blueprint, go ahead and click on the link below down in the description. You will see where it says get the blueprint. And you will also see where you can learn more about the 90-day challenge. If you want to learn more about the challenge, you'll see that there is a YouTube link for that, which you can click on, and you can watch a Zoom. A Zoom is like an hour and a half Zoom that goes all over the details. All right. If you've been through that and you don't need to see that again, and you're just ready to get your hands on a blueprint, and you're ready to get going, get rocking and rolling on achieving your 30K in 90 days, right? Then go ahead, get the blueprint. You'll see the link for that, or you can look right here on the screen. You can see it says www.makemoneywithtracy.com. That's where you can go to get it. All right. So let's jump into this today. Now, over the last 9 days, I have shared, maybe in the last 3 or 4, even specifically, I've shared some very, very specific strategies that will allow you to leverage tools like ChatGPT. I've given you some formulas. I've given you some methodologies. I've given you some things to help you framework, or to give you a framework on how you can really start to put your content together from a digital marketing perspective, and how it doesn't have to be hard, it doesn't have to be time consuming, and it doesn't have to make you want to pull your hair out. Okay. Well, unless you don't have any hair. Now, if you don't have any hair, then make you not want to bang your head against the wall. How about that? We got to have something for everybody a little bit, right? All right. So now today, I want to talk a little bit about how we're going to move forward. Okay. So you've got some very basic action steps on days 1 through 9. If you have not gone through days 1 through 9, I highly recommend that you do that. Okay. Because now what we're getting ready to start doing is making a transition into really ramping things up a little bit. Okay. So today I want to talk about how we're going to achieve the 30K, not strategically, because I already gave you that. I think it was like maybe day 3 or 4, something like that. I already gave you literally, strategically, and tactically how we're going to do that. But I want you to think about this in terms of how you are approaching it. How are you going to achieve the 30K in 90 days from your approach? Your mental approach. Okay. How are you going to get this thing done based on what you set up for yourself? Now, there is something that's called action-based results, right? Action-based, action-driven, sorry, action-driven results. Um, and there's other things that are not driven results, but action-driven, right? The ways that you approach, there's an action-driven approach, and then there's a results-driven approach. Now, here's the thing. When most people, maybe even you, I know it was me for sure, when I first got started on the internet, everything is all about results driven, right? Even if you've ever done network marketing before, by the way, this is not network marketing, but if you've ever done it before, then you understand that it is very, very results driven, okay, on the outside, meaning, how many signups did you get this month, right? How many new people did your team grow by? How much money are you making this month, right? How much money did you make the last 90 days, okay? The last quarter or the last 90-day run, right? It's very results driven. However, there's not as many people that are out in the marketplace vocalizing action driven approaches. What is an action driven approach? Well, it's not so much about, oh, I want to have 30K in 90 days, right? That would be a results driven approach. It would be more about, well, how do I achieve? How do I break that down, right? So I talked about that in the previous video. Let's say I want 12 signups in a month, 12 signups in a month, 12 new people getting started with learning how to get their marketing, their digital marketing business going in a month at $900 income to you, commissions, 100% commissions, it's $10,800, right? So you could say, I want to make $10,000 in 30 days. That would be results driven. But if you're smart, you'd focus on the action driven approach, which would be, what do I need to do? So I need 12 new people to say yes, right? Break that down. So let's say you need 8 leads a day. So if 8 leads a day can help you to get to a point where statistically you are able to, and I went over these numbers in a previous training, 12 people to enroll based off 8 at a minimum leads per day, then should I be constantly focused on $30 or $10,000 for the month? Should that be my run? Should that be my focus? Should that be what I'm focusing all of my attention on? And every day I'm like, oh, I haven't made a sale yet. Haven't made a sale yet. Haven't made a sale yet. Should it be that? Or should I really be focused on the action driven approach, which is, let me do what I need to do to get 8 leads today. Did I get 8 leads today? Right? Did I get 8 leads today? If I didn't get 8 leads today, then I need to do something different so that I can, or do something. Because some people aren't doing anything. They're studying, but they're not taking any action. So they think, because what happens is when you have an employee, a more employee focused mindset, no knock on employees, but there's a difference. There's a difference, and I'm going to be 100% transparent with you. There is a difference between an employee mindset and an entrepreneurial mindset. An employee mindset says, I exchange time for money. You are used to subconsciously going to work, sitting there for 8 hours a day. And you already know that if you do that 5 days a week for 2 weeks, you're going to have a paycheck. You know that. That is a given, right? The entrepreneurial mindset is like, well, if I don't need to spend 40 hours a week doing it, if I could get my 8 leads a day in 10 hours a week, I'd rather spend 10 hours a week in my business and 30 hours spending time with my family. And if that got me my result, then I'm more focused on the action, not the time. See, a lot of times people get started with digital marketing, other enterprises as well, but this is the area that I know, okay? And I've been in it a long time, like 16, 17 years. I've worked with a lot of people. I've worked with young people, 18, 19. I've worked with people that were in their 20s and 30s. I've worked with people with 40s and 50s. I work with people right now that are in their 70s and 80s. My dad just turned 82 on 2 days ago, July the 16th, just turned 82. And my dad is in this business. My dad is learning how to work this business. He's 82. Okay. And so my point is, there are people that get into this type of business and all they want to do is focus on 30K, 30K, 30K. And their whole thing is, I don't have any sales yet. Nobody's buying from me yet. Nobody's buying from me. There is a gentleman by the name of Earl Nightingale. If you don't know who Earl Nightingale is, you probably need to go to YouTube and you need to type him in your search bar. He's one of our most devout thought leaders. He's passed away. But if you're going to be in the game of entrepreneurship, you need to study Earl Nightingale. Earl Nightingale gives the definition of success. Earl Nightingale says success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. What is a progressive realization? Progress. You are making progress. And through your progress, you are realizing the goal. You're realizing the goal step by step. You're not starting something and think you're supposed to realize the goal. You're starting something and you are going to progressively put one foot in front of the other. You are going to do a video a day. You're going to do 3 videos a day. You're going to make 3 posts a day. You're going to do 3 ads a day, whatever it is. Let's just roll with 3 ads a day. You're going to do 3 ads a day. And your point initially is to just do the 3 ads. You can't be worried about what the ad is going to give you in return when you're still fighting with yourself about just doing the ad. Do the ad. Do the ad the first time. You should not be expecting a result because you did 1 ad. Get out of here. Do another ad. Do a 3rd ad, especially if you're posting free ads like we teach inside of our Legacy Builder program. If you're posting 3 ads a day on free sites, which cost you $0, then the only thing that you have to be focused on is trusting the process. If someone teaches you that if you post 3 ads a day on free sites, doesn't cost you anything out of your pocket, and you follow this format of your ad, you follow this type of imagery in your ad, you have this type of link in your ad, and you are just focused on doing what you are instructed to do by the person you chose to be instructed by, then your goal is to focus on doing the thing. What makes a great baseball player? My son is 10. He plays baseball. He plays competitive travel baseball and he plays little league, which is still competitive, but they call it more rec ball, right? He plays both, 2 different teams. He goes to batting practice with his batting coach. He has friends who he goes to the batting cage with time to time, right? I take him to Truist Park over here, which is the Brave Stadium, and he will hit and play and have fun with the other baseball fanatics that are out there. But it is day to day to day to day. If he were to wake up and be upset and cry and just be all bent out of shape because he didn't get drafted this week in the 2024 MLB draft, I would think he's insane. I would think that my 10-year-old is insane to think that any professional MLB scout had his name on the list to be drafted in any of the, 20 rounds in MLB. And the draft was earlier this week. Now, you would look at that and you would probably agree that there's no way that he would be prepared or ready to go play in the MLB right today. Isn't that right? He's only 10. Compared to 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and all of those young men started 10, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. They started around there. You know how many games they played as youth players? Do you know how many games they played as high school players? Do you know how many games they played as high school players on their teams, like high school teams, but also games they played on their travel teams, the highly competitive leagues for the high school kids that play on the school team, but also with a league in their community probably, or a regional league or whatever, a local league. Do you know how many games they play if they go to college and play? Do you know how many games they play before it is even an idea of them going and getting drafted? So you post two ads. You're brand new and you post two ads. And the first question you're asking is, how come nobody's buying from me yet? That's the equivalent of my 10-year-old asking how come he didn't get drafted in the MLB draft this past week. It sounds almost ridiculous, doesn't it? Correct. You have not put in enough hours. You have not put in enough working hours. You need at least 10,000 hours. And there's so many people who want the success and they can't even put in 2 hours a day. They're making excuses because they work. It's not about that you work. What it's about is that if you wanted to add an additional income, you're going to have to find a better way to manage your time. You cannot keep blaming the thing that you're actually trying to get away from for why you're not moving towards the thing that's going to help you get away from it. That's insanity. If you don't like the thing that you're doing to the point that that's what you want to retire doing, then when you go in to find something else, you've got to use that thing that you don't like to fuel you so that you get into the thing that you are learning to do and you commit. You commit at least 2 hours a day. And if in that 2 hours a day, you can post 5 free ads on free ad sites, and then you do that every day, even if you did it for 1 week and you had 5 ads a day for 7 days out of the week, that's 35 ads. But let's say that's 35 ads times 10 different publications. That's 350 ads. Now, is that a lot of ads? Yes, I agree. That's a lot of ads. But if you've never done this before, and let's say I've been doing this for 17 years, do you think your little bitty old 350 ads is going to be anywhere in comparison to maybe the 350 ads times every week I've been doing this, times every year, 17 years I've been doing it? You cannot compare a D1 athlete with a little leaguer. Now, I'm not saying that you're a little leaguer. I'm not saying I'm D1. What I'm saying is that there's different levels. And if you're just beginning, you got to give yourself some grace. But you got to be realistic. You can't be in this insane type of expectation where you're so results driven that you don't even take the actions. Or you take the actions a little bit and then you get discouraged because you're so results driven that you're upset that you haven't seen the results just yet that you think you should have at this point in time. So I'm going to encourage you to focus on the action driven approach. Avoid, you can be aware that the worthy ideal is 30K in 90 days. That's the worthy ideal. That's where we're headed. But if I get in my car and I plug in Miami from Atlanta in my GPS and I start driving down 75 South, I've got to trust that I'm going to eventually get to Miami. But for me to be upset that I'm not in Miami yet because I'm only in Orlando would be insane. I've been driving 6 hours. I'm not there yet. No, it's an 11, 12-hour drive. It's an 11, 12-hour drive. So you being upset that you've driven 6 hours and you're only in Orlando or wherever you might be in Central Florida, if you got upset and pulled over on the side of the road and kicked your tire and all this, what good is that doing? Is that getting you any closer to Miami? Or is getting in the car and continuing to progress down the road a better idea? So I want you to avoid, after you've accepted that you're going to Miami, I want you to avoid asking, like children like to do when you go on road trips, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? You'll get there when you get there. How do you know you're going to get there? Because you're on the right path. How do you know you're on the right path? Because you're following a coach who's been on the path, come back, got you, got other people, went back down the path again, came back, got somebody else, went back down the path again, came back. Now they're getting you. Baby, we've been down this road a lot of times. And as things are changing in the environment with AI and things like this, it's our job to keep up with some of those enhancements. And as we keep up with them, we share them with you, especially inside of our community. So There's no reason to think that if there's a detour once you get to Orlando, that you don't have the direction to follow the detour route to still get yourself down to Miami. You've got to trust the process. So you must have a progressive realization. You must have an action based approach. How many ads did I post today? In other words, what did I do? What did I do? Why do I feel that I am entitled to a result when I haven't done enough yet? And if you think that the little bit that you did is enough, then you're being a little bit unrealistic about what this journey actually requires. It requires a lot of work to get drafted into any sport. I speak about baseball because I am a baseball mom. So I see it day in, day out, day in, day out. I see my son pitching at my door. I see my son throwing a sock up, hitting it with another bat every day at my clock. There are all types of socks on the top of my cabinets in my kitchen that the cleaning lady came today. She had to get all that crap down. She had to get it all down because he puts all his socks are up there. I have to buy some new socks because when it's time for school, I can't find socks. Oh, because they're on top of the cabinet, but it's just one that's on top of the cabinet, right? He doesn't need two socks. He balls up one sock and he hits it. It's a home run on top of my cabinet. I can't. It's a lot of swinging, a lot of pretending that you're fielding. He throws the ball at the wall and he fields it with his glove. He throws it again hard at the wall like he's throwing it to a person. Then he pretends like he's in the outfield and he catches it up like that. There's a lot. You can't just play 3 games and be like, well, how come I'm not an MVP yet? Well, how come I'm not a starter yet? Really? So, as an adult, I want us to be very clear on the realistic things and the realistic goals that you're going to set for yourself. 30K in 90 days is a very possible thing. But we're not going to get there magically, and we're not going to get there because somebody's guaranteeing it, and we're not going to get there because you think you're entitled to it, and you're definitely not going to get there because you paid $900. The fact that you paid $900 is what gives you access to the information that then allows you to take the progressive steps towards the realization of the worthy ideal. That does not guarantee you the worthy ideal. It doesn't. So if there's nobody else on the internet that's telling you that you've got to put in action, massive action, and you got to put in a lot of it. And until your time comes, if you're following the plan, you have to trust the process. Now, if you don't trust the process, you will quit. And I'm going to be the first person to say, then quit. You know why? Because this is real life and it's business and it's changing your life and it is transformational. People that have transformed their lives didn't do it because they rolled over on their side one morning and all of a sudden everything was absolutely roses and berries. People have put in work, blood, sweat, and tears. They put in time. Sometimes it's been trial and error. Sometimes it's a lot of action with no results. But I'm a believer, and I want you to be a believer in principles. You got to be a principle-based person. You can't just be out here willy-nilly and going with the wind. You have to be on solid pillars. And one of the pillars that I abide my life by, not just my business, is that I will reap what I sow. It's called the law of reciprocity. I will reap what I sow. Do I always know when I'm going to reap it? Do I always know who it will be reaped from? Do I know how it will be reaped? No, but I know that universal laws and principles that the Most High have put in place, God's law, they are absolute. They are absolute. So if I trust that the person that I chose to teach me is going to give me the right information, then I'm going to do what they tell me to do. I'm going to be focused with an action-based result. I'm going to be more interested in my productivity, not in how busy you are. See, some of you guys get busy, but you're not productive. You spend a lot of time because that's what you do at work. You don't even know that's what you're doing. You're just sitting there watching all the trainings, all the videos, and you ain't posted not one ad. But because you spent 8 hours, you like to say, I spent 8 hours doing this and I haven't made any money, but you haven't posted any ads. Nobody even, where's your link? Who even saw it? Do you even know where's my link? You don't even know where your link is. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this out because I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. 30K in 90 days is our worthy ideal. It's our worthy, it's worthy. It's worth our time. It's worth our effort. It's worth our focus. It's worth our consistency. It's worth our attention. It's worth us taking some time. It's worth the 2 hours a day. It's worth not going to the park or going to the Braves game or going to wherever here and there. It's worth that for 90 days because it's going to be transformational. So it's a worthy ideal. If 30K in 90 days is not worthy to you, then it's going to be pointless because you will not do the actions. But if you have a high regard for achieving the goal that you set for yourself, then once you've set the worthy ideal, our goal is not to keep talking about why we ain't at the worthy ideal. Our goal is to be focused on how many ads did I post today? How many leads did I get today? How many ads did I post yesterday? How many leads did I get yesterday? How many ads am I going to post tomorrow? How many leads will I probably get tomorrow? And your goal is to do that almost obsessively. And the word obsessive is a good thing because what you will find is that it doesn't mean that you are crazy. You can always have extremes of concepts because of how people denote them. But you have to have an obsession with being great in order to be great. My son has an obsession with playing baseball, so he plays it. He plays it on his PlayStation. He plays it in real life. He plays it by himself. He plays it with his friends. He plays it over there in the field at the Braves. He is obsessed with baseball. He sleeps with his baseball. He just got a brand new glove. He's obsessed with it. He comes in here. He tells me about who got drafted. He knows stats. He knows who's doing what. He knows the Braves record. He knows what Hank Aaron was doing. He knows what Jackie Robinson was doing. He knows. It's because for him, playing in the MLB, it's a worthy ideal. So he never complains about the progressive realization of said worthy ideal. He says, when am I get to the MLB yet? Why I ain't there yet? So I don't want you to be that way. Well, how come I'm not there yet? This is your first 3 weeks. Your first 3 weeks, and you want $30,000. Action-based or action-driven results is what you want. Process-driven. Processes. What's the process? And people say, trust the process. Fall in love with the process. Get so good at posting those ads. Get so good at the speed. Get so good at the efficiency that now it doesn't even take you 2 hours. It takes you 35 minutes. Get so good at the process that there is no other possible reasonable result other than to achieve the worthy ideal. So I wanted to share that with you. I wanted to kind of put a little emphasis. I want to put a little fire under your butt. And I want to give you a little mindset too, because I could give you all the how-tos all day. But if you're focused on the result and not the process, you'll do the how-tos one time. Oh yeah, that was a cool little strategy. Then you're back in the chat the next day. Well, what are you guys doing to get leads? The same shit you should have been doing yesterday to get leads. It doesn't change. You're going to do the same thing every day, every day, every day. And if we told you to do it yesterday and you didn't get any leads yesterday, then do it 3 times a day. Then do it again today. Then do it again tomorrow. Do it every day for 30 days, 3 times a day, 5 times a day, before you even let it come out of your mouth. What else are y'all doing to get leads? We're doing what we're doing, which is the same thing we were doing yesterday. What's happening is you're changing. You keep wanting to change because you think something is different. What makes it different is the amount of time that the person has put in to master what they're doing. So if you never master what you're doing, you'll never get the massive result that you're looking at someone that you want to be like or have a result similar to. You'll never experience that because you never got good enough. See, you weren't obsessed on being great. You was obsessed on trying it out. Let me see how it work. I'll give it 2 weeks. I'll give it 2 weeks, y'all. I'll let y'all know how it go. And you can't be like that. You have to be committed to the cause, baby. You got to be in it to win it. Once you say you in it, you got to be in it, right? But you got to be committed to doing the work. Even if you're tired, even if you don't feel like it, even if it's late, even if I got baseball practice, even if I got batting practice with my son, even if I got, that's why I love my business, because I set a time to do these lives every day. And sometimes in this first 10 days, I haven't been able to do it exactly at the time that I said. But that doesn't take away the fact that I still need to do it, because that's the commitment I made. I'm doing of live video every day for 90 days. That's the process. I'm trusting my process. You know how many 90-day runs I've done where at the end of the 90 days, there was transformation? I know I've been down this road up and down here a zillion times. And I was new at one point too. And my coach, Dagan Smith, at that time, back in 2008, said the same thing. Success is boring. Success is boring because you're just going to do the same thing every day. The difference is that the more you do it, the better you get, the wiser you get, the more instinctive you become, the more efficient you become, the more effective you get. Then you can hire somebody else to do it. You can outsource it. And now that you know what you're doing, when you hire somebody else to do it and you're going to pay them to do it, you know whether they're doing it wrong or not. Too many people are trying to outsource stuff they don't even know about, which means the person could not even be doing it. How would you know? You're just so busy trying to not do work. You're trying to avoid work. You're trying to do it the easy way. And I'm not saying don't leverage outsourcing. I'm saying know what you're outsourcing so that you can be a good manager. You can be a good boss. How can you manage somebody that's working under your tutelage and you don't even know what they should be doing because you're hiring them just so you can avoid doing it? That is not how business is run. I'm sorry if I'm the truth teller today. Is it me? Am I the drama? No, I couldn't be the drama. Am I the drama? I think I'm the drama. Let's focus, guys. Action driven, process focused. Understand what the result is. We're going to get there. But stay focused on the process. Keep the main thing the main thing. And I will see you on tomorrow for day number 11. In the meantime, in between time, if you have not gotten yourself or your hands on that blueprint, I'm going to tell you, if you want to get the 30K and 90-day blueprint, you want to click on the link in the description of this video below, grab hold of it, get yourself plugged in, join the challenge and run with me. And the concepts that I'm teaching you out here on the forefront, like this is the sidewalk, we out on the sidewalk with this. You're going to start getting way more in-depth training when you get inside the house. I'm on the sidewalk. I'm kind of like waving y'all in. Come on, y'all. It's the tax time, right? You see the Liberty tax people or whoever's doing taxes, right? Come on in, get your taxes done, right? I'm on the sidewalk. I'm giving y'all a clue. Then you're going to come in. And when you come in, that's really when you're going to start to enhance. That's really where you're going to start to blossom. That's really where you're going to start to grow. And then you're going to realize that everything I'm saying to you makes so much more sense. If you've been in business before, you already know that what I'm saying makes sense. But if this is kind of your first time hearing stuff like this, you're going to have to understand that everything is action. Everything is action driven. What am I doing every day? It's not what you do, it's what you do daily. You with me? All right. So tomorrow, day 11, same place. I don't know about the same time, but we're going to be right back here. Okay. Facebook and YouTube. We're going to be right back here. All right. And some of you guys are watching this from my email list because I send out the video to my email. So if you came from my email list, if you're watching it on social media, either way, I don't know where you're watching it. You might have came from an ad somewhere. Either way, the message still remains. 30K in 90-day challenge is underway. And I will see you on tomorrow for day 11. Bye.